You know you're good when you don't even have to say a word and you get applause, right? So thank you for that. Welcome to Vegas. Thank you for being here at the ASM pre-day event. If we do better than the whole ASM event, don't say it to anybody, because they get mad, right? That won't mean that I'm going to try not to do better than them, because if you don't know me by now, you should know how competitive I am, right? But let's just kind of keep this to ourselves, because we're special. We really are special. People who are smart enough to buy through Rapid Crush are superior to all other human beings. And it's not just because I make money, right? It's because, in my opinion, we have the best value. We try to provide not just the best value day of purchase, but month after purchase, 6 months after purchase, year after purchase, 2 years after purchase. Do I have any ASM 1 people in here? Look at this, ASM 1ers. 2 years ago, basically, almost 2 years ago, are we still giving value to ASM 1? Yeah! I like that, okay? And we're going to continue to do this forever and ever and ever, as long as Amazon as an entity still exists. I did have a customer write into me when we were promoting ASM 4 saying, Jason, I'm a little bit worried. I read this article on Business Insider. It says Amazon has been not profitable forever. Do you think Amazon will still be in business soon? Aren't you worried that you're selling customers into something that might not exist in 6 months? I said, you know what? I am worried, right? But sometimes you just got to take a chance anyway, right? Speaking of Amazon, let's talk about what the future of Amazon looks like. Consistent application of the fundamentals. That's how we have long-term success. Any one of us can get in there, make a quick hit, make some money. I call that drive-by traffic, and that can be okay. But if you remember the real estate market, a lot of you were in the real estate market, and now you're not in the real estate market, right? How you win in the long term, how we went from a nobody company to the #1 internet marketing company in less than 7 years is a consistent application of the fundamentals. All the tricks, all the tactics, all the methods are great. Consistent application of the fundamentals is the name of the game. Scalable, systematic processes. You don't want a job. I hope not, right? Or if you do want a job and you're talented enough, I will hire you, okay? John S. Rhodes, where are you at? John's in the back right there. Key acquisition that we made this year. John was one of the top affiliates of all time in ASM. I got him to come to my company, right? That's how committed we are to the long-term success, is we're building these amazing, crazy things that will last forever, scalable, systematic processes. This is the most important, I think, preparing for tomorrow today. Every marketer almost that exists out there is reactionary. They see what the market does, and then they say, well, gee, how can I be there? I want to show up right here where the market will be. They're there right now, but when they come here, guess who's ready for them? With you and your Amazon products, that's where you ultimately want to be. You want to be where the customer's going to be at tomorrow. So when they show up, everybody else tries to scramble and catch up, and you're just making bank, right? How do you prepare for tomorrow today? Here's a question. Is Amazon going to get more or less competitive and challenging? More, right? But is Amazon going to present more or less new opportunities? More. It gets challenging, but it gets more lucrative. Challenging, more lucrative. Cool, right? Let me give you an example. At the bottom of every search you perform on Amazon, every time you do a search on Amazon, you probably didn't notice this, most people don't, there's something that says search powered by A9. Did you know that? What the hell is A9, right? So A9 has a website. A9 is actually a search engine technology that Amazon acquired several years ago. And if you go to a9.com, which I would recommend you go there and read every document on that page, you're going to find some very interesting things. You say, okay, Jason, what are you talking about, this weird stuff? Man, show me just how I can make this one tweak in my Amazon listing and increase my session conversion percentage. Yeah, that's cool, right? Drive-by techniques. Product search. This is what we're all focusing on right now. If you've done a search on Amazon, you've used the A9 product search engine. What you don't know, and I think Ben Cummings is going to talk about this here very shortly, is Amazon doesn't just consider conversion rate in determining ranking in product search. They also consider future conversion rate. Did you know that, right? What the hell is future conversion rate? How do you predict that? How do you understand that? Ben's going to talk about that, right? Here's what I like. And you won't be able to read this, so just take my word for it. Focus on the words and the intent behind the words. The intent behind the words. More and more in the future, Amazon search is going to go to the buyer intent, the search intent. How do you position, create, offer private label products and capture the intent of what the customer wants? Okay? That's some of the stuff you need to be thinking about. That's what I think about. If somebody's buying a silicone baking mat, what is the intent when they go to look for a silicone baking mat? Something easier. They want something easier than what they're already doing for baking. So how can we permeate everything that we do to encapsulate that one core thing, the intent? Nobody's thinking this way. 2 years from now, that's going to drastically affect the search results in Amazon. Everybody else will like wake up one day, and here's what they'll do. They'll notice it one day. The first thing they do, complain. Oh, this sucks. Why do I got to make a change, right? That's not helpful, by the way. It might be nice. It might be fun. Might have some personal benefit. You might like to complain. Doesn't do anything for your business, though, right? Then the second thing they'll do after they complain, the second thing they'll do is they'll look for a shortcut, like a Band-Aid. Well, how can I kind of go and do the same thing I always was doing, but maybe get somewhat of the same result? But we'll be expecting it. And when we expect it, we're ready for it. And if we're ready for it, then we can take advantage of it, right? Now here's what's really interesting, visual search. Our goal is to create solutions that are so simple to use, so fast and convenient, that customers prefer them to traditional search methods. I call this, and I made this term up, so if you ever hear a marketer say this in the future, they either heard it from me or they heard it from somebody who heard it from me. I call it textless search. The future of Amazon especially. Not Google, because Google's more of an information search engine. So guess how you find information? You write words, right? A product search engine, textless search. All of us are fighting, or we were. I gave up the fight. All of us were fighting this fight with these images in Amazon, fancy images, advertising images. You know the deal, right? I just said, forget it. We're just going to do plain old, non-rendered images, actual photographic images. Why? I'm preparing for the future. I do lose a little bit of conversion today by making that sacrifice, but I know visual search. How easy is it going to be to match a 3D render of a bottle if somebody is at their friend's house saying, oh, wow, this new skin cream, I love it. Where'd you get it? I got it on Amazon. Okay, cool. Snap, boom, pulls up the Amazon listing. Bypassing the search engine. Are you following me? Now, if it's a render, are they going to match it? I don't know. Maybe. This is the future, though, visual search. Nobody outside of this room is even thinking about visual search. All other ASMers, when you're talking about that, they're just going to complain. Well, I wish we could still do these images where we're hard selling them on every image because we get 4% more of an increase in conversion. That's called incremental improvement. I'm all about exponential improvement. How can we do this stuff so we capture 90% of the traffic that nobody else is capturing, right? Cloud search. This is very exciting to me. Cloud search takes away the burden of managing complex search infrastructures and lets our customers focus on building great application. So Will might come to me one day and say, hey, Jason, I want to build a search engine. And I'd be like, hell no. You know how complicated that is? But he goes, yeah, Jason, I might have this application for the search engine that we could use for all this traffic we're getting, right? I say, okay, cool, let's just use cloud search. Just like all of us use AWS. You know what AWS is? Amazon Web Services. S3, Simple Storage Service. If you're using the ASM tool for email, that's an Amazon service, right? People will start using Amazon and build their own custom searches on their own mobile applications, on their own websites. And are your products going to be in there? Yes, they will be. More opportunity. Can you, when this starts happening more and more, be proactive about finding those websites that are building these search engines and make deals with them? Are you following what I'm saying here? Everybody else is going to look around and say, damn, I want to do what he just did. Because you did it. Because you were ahead of the curve, right? Here's how they're doing it right now. Flow. Who here has heard of Flow, the app? What do we say that is? 3% of the room? Maybe 5% of the room? Flow. John Rhodes and I were talking about this last night. And John's like, I got it. He pulls it out there and he's all showing me. He's all excited about it, right? Flow is an example of a live camera view that will directly perform a search result or a search for you, textless search. It's not the only one. Fabulous is another one there. Now, by the way, they own Zappos. They're testing a lot of this on Zappos and then rolling it out slowly but surely to their other web properties. Advertising technology. This is my favorite. Whatever they offer for advertising today is going to dwarf in comparison to what they'll offer in advertising 5 years from now. Isn't that incredible? Here's an example of why Amazon is trying to compete with Google. They just sent us this case study recently. MMP Live accelerates sales using sponsored products with automatic targeting. They got to page 1 when they were normally on page 4. 50 to 100 concurrent campaigns. Sales increase 100%, ROI 950%. This is just with automatic targeting, not manual placement. This is going to get better in the future, right? You won't be able to see this, unfortunately, but basically what he says is when we use our competitors' cost per click platform, which is probably Google, it could take 3 to 6 months to get sales moving. 3 to 6 months. Now, thanks to the intelligence behind Amazon sponsored products, automatic targeting, we see traction in just weeks. Here's another one. This is what I like. Jump from BSR 70,000 to 20,000, from page 4 to page 1. 2,600% ROI. Future advertising platforms, I want you to think about this. Not just sponsored ads. Every single person in here should be running sponsored ads. Every single person out there, let's hope they don't run sponsored ads, right? Because then it'll be cheaper for us. IMBD, right? Or is it Internet Movie Database? IMDb. Amazon owns that. You can serve ads if you're a certain type of status in Amazon right now in IMDb. Okay? Zappos, obviously. Audible.com, which doesn't just advertise audiobooks. There's other advertising inventory that already exists today, but there will be more that exists tomorrow, right? Did you know Alexa is owned by Amazon? Alexa, which indexes and tries to rank the top sites of the day, is owned by Amazon, right? Twitch TV, video game streamers. Hundreds of thousands a day go and watch people play video games. That's an advertising dream to get in front of those people. Pets.com, so if you're selling pet products, they have these little subsidiaries, right? DP Review, do you know what this is? Digital Photography Review. Huge. Woot. It's their deal site, right? Casa.com. You know what Casa.com is? You sell home and kitchen products? Casa.com might be for you. What else are they going to acquire in the future? How else can they open up advertising opportunities to you? Here's the bottom line. Changes to the web benefit first movers on Amazon. So anytime the web itself changes, if we're in position to be ready and adapt to those changes, we will win. I don't care who else is buying ASM when ASM 5 comes out. 6 million people could buy it. Doesn't matter. We don't compete with them. You compete with yourself. Changes to the web benefit first movers on Amazon. Changes to ad platforms benefit first movers to Amazon. I am waiting every single day looking at new Amazon advertising opportunities because that is the easiest way. So even if we don't rank in search, we make money, right? Changes to ranking on Amazon benefit everything. When a rank change occurs, whoever adapts first to that change gets the benefit. I love it when anarchy happens in the Amazon search results because we call that opportunity. So speaking of which here, I would like to introduce our first guest speaker. I've actually run an Amazon business with him now. We merged our businesses together. One of the sharpest minds that I know of. Me and him, we sit down and every single day figure out new ways to exploit Amazon ads, to exploit Amazon rankings, to exploit Amazon profits. So please give a massive round of applause to my business partner and good friend, Ben Cummings. Thanks, buddy. There's a picture. No, oh, yeah. You need that. Thanks.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited to be back in Vegas, huh? It's a wild city, isn't it? Just real quick, funny aside. So last time I spoke in June, right? And afterwards, I was kind of, a little fried mentally because, it's pretty intensive when you speak up here. And I was sharing a glass of wine with my wife at a bar, and 3 women came up and they said, "Ben, we were shocked when we saw you speak." And I was like, shocked in like a good way? They're like, "Yes, and we're shocked to see that you actually weren't a short, bald guy in person." I'm like, because from your videos, you look like a short, bald guy. And we just want to tell you that you're not a short, bald guy. Well, I'm kind of bald, right? But, so I'm just, now, well, it really made me feel great that so they're saying I'm really like the Danny DeVito of Amazon coaches, basically, like on video. Not Matthew McConaughey, mind you, Danny DeVito, right? Anyway, so the title of my talk is the 2015 Amazon Ranking Manifesto. It's all about how to rank on what I'm calling Amazon 2.0. All right, some questions for you about ranking. And, I've always hated speakers that are like rah-rah. They make you stand up. They make you do all this stuff. I promise I'll keep that to a minimum, but I do want you guys engaged because I just want some feedback. Raise your hands nice and high if you've tried to rank a product on Amazon. Okay, so the majority, good. Okay, hands down. Raise your hand if you've struggled ranking a product on Amazon. Okay, nearly everybody. And certain people, no matter what I say, they're not going to raise their hand, but that's fine. Okay, how much would you guys love me if I were to teach you exactly how and what to do to rank a product on Amazon in the current environment? Okay. That wasn't very enthusiastic. Man, we'll skip it. We'll just... Okay. All right. Fine. I'll do you one better, too. By the time you leave the room, I'm going to give you 7 specific, tangible things that you can do to rank your product in this new ranking environment that I call Amazon 2.0. Sound good? All right. Question. Is success on Amazon easy, do you guys think? No. But, you always have this high after you buy a course, right? And you picture that success is a straight line. Those of you, how many, by show of hands, are in my Amazon Fast Track coaching program? Wow. What is wrong with the rest of you? But you guys know I love this slide. I start every single Amazon Fast Track with this slide of what people think success is, right? It's a straight line. And what success really is. And it's like a squiggly goes up, down, and eventually goes up. Guess what? Deal with this one reality, and half of your stress will go away. And this is what ranking on Amazon really looks like. This is a picture of one of our products. Now, you see when you first launch it, see that whip song? This used to cause me an ulcer. And frankly, I'm getting more bald because of this process. But this is what it really looks like. Now, the good news is I don't care about the whip song. I was really struggling to think of a good metaphor. Like, what is this like? I guess it's kind of like what a stock chart might look like for Apple, right, in the early days. Up, down, blah, 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 but eventually, holy crap, home run. And that really is the reality of ranking on Amazon. I get so many people hitting the panic button, whoop, 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 if after their first effort they're not on page 1. But that's not reality, guys. There's just too much going on. There's stuff that Amazon wants us to do that we all try to overthink, and we try to find a loophole. It's in our DNA, right, as business owners. We're smarter than Amazon. We're going to try other things. What you're going to learn is actually Amazon wants a very specific set of things from us. Would you guys all agree that Amazon is a pretty well-built money machine? Okay. Now, we all want to try crazy long keyword stuff titles. Trust me, if Amazon could increase their sales massively, they would be like, go for it. Use every direct response marketing technique you want, keyword stuff the crap out of it. They've actually found the opposite. So I've completely changed my mentality of going from rogue, Mr. Find the loophole and try to like trick the Amazon system to maybe a better approach is to find out specifically exactly what Amazon wants. Verify it with case studies, which I have for you, and walk in their moccasins. And the results will be vastly superior. They want to make money too, guys. They're not against us. They're for us. They're letting us access the world's largest e-commerce platform in the history of mankind, right? So the good news is we're much more in control of the ranking process than I guarantee all of you think. The bad news is 99% of you don't know what to do. I'm going to solve that problem. So what do I call this Amazon 2.0? It's just what I'm calling the new reality of ranking on Amazon in light of the ASMers. And in light of, like, you know, even if you don't take the ASM course, if you have a brand and you want to maximize the sales of that brand, what should you do? Jump on Amazon. You know, my 13-year-old son says, Dad, just buy it on Amazon. And he doesn't even have a credit card. So the goal of my talk is to give you the most up-to-date information on ranking on Amazon. Now, what is the secret to ranking on Amazon? That's a rhetorical question, by the way. Okay, so I thought long and hard about what can I do to impact you guys the most. The best thing I can do, hey, how you doing? The best thing I can do is to lock this secret into your long-term memory so you never freaking forget it. So I thought, how do I do that? Beth, would you please stand up? I have a live demonstration for you. If this works, and it may not work, this is going to freak you guys out. Live in front of 600 plus people. Let's give Beth a loud round of applause as she makes her way to the stage. Come on up. Okay, so what I did with Beth, and you guys just have to trust me, we've set nothing up. Beth, have we prearranged anything here? No. Okay. Other than just a brief meeting, we don't know each other, and don't look so happy about that. So what I asked Beth to do, I'm going to do kind of a crazy mind experiment here. And the only reason I don't like these headsets is because you guys might think that somehow I'm getting cued with secrets. I swear to God I'm not. There's no earpiece. We prearranged nothing. Here's what happened. I had Beth concentrate on an object that she could draw in her mind. Any object, free choice, literally hundreds of thousands of possibilities, yes? Would you confirm that's the case?
Yes.
Did you tell me what that object was at any point?
No.
And I told you not to do what? Not to tell anybody else in this room, including the sound guys, me, my wife, anybody.
Right.
I didn't slip you like a $200 and...
No, that's after.
Okay, so the only person... That's after. Shh. You're only getting 100 now. Is it fair to say the only person on the entire planet that knows what this object is you, because you've been just concentrating on it, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to try something here. This is weird. If this works. I can't explain how I do this. Sometimes I can pull this off. Beth, I have a pad for you and a marker, okay? Will you please turn and face the wall? Yep, thank you. There you go, take that. We're going to do it like this. Okay, just hold that. I'm going to try to pick up on the impressions I'm getting from her, literally read her mind in real time. And you're going to see the process. Now, is that not freaking weird? All right, now if we can pull this off, Beth, would you agree that these guys would owe us a standing ovation?
Yes.
I would agree. Is that fair? Okay. I'm not going to look. I'm not looking at these monitors. Don't peek over her shoulder. I don't want to be accused of peeking or anything like this. Okay, take a step back. We're now standing cheek to cheek. This creates what we call a psychic impression. All right, on the count of three, Beth, sorry. See, I'm a mind reader, right? On the count of three, I want you to start drawing. I'm not going to peek. Start drawing this image that you've been concentrating on. Ready? 3, 2, 1, draw. Okay, this is weird. Now, you're not drawing a character of Danny DeVito, I hope. Just kidding. Okay. Beth could have drawn anything in the world, and she drew this. I'm getting an impression here of circles. That makes sense to you, Beth? Circles? Maybe. Uh-oh. Okay, tell me when you're done. Okay. Please face forward. Don't let me see. Hold this against your body. And let's see if we could pull this off. Now, let's switch so I don't get accused of somehow sneaking pictures. Beth, don't show them yet. Beth could have drawn anything in the world, and she drew this. What is this?
Oh, it's Sparky, my dog.
Sparky the dog. You would have to admit that this would be a remarkable coincidence if we even got remotely close, yes? Thank God we did. A dog. Standing ovation for Lisa, come on. I mean, Beth, why don't I call you Lisa? Thank you. Good job. All right. Now that I coerced you into a standing ovation. Okay, why do they do that? Here's why. The number one secret to ranking, that's wild, isn't it? I'm a fun guy to bring to a party, trust me. The number one secret to ranking on Amazon, the reason why I did that crazy mind trick with you is this. We need to crawl in the mind, psychically, of Amazon. If we can do that, if we can predict in advance what they want from us, you can rank. So let's get right to it. View all this through the eyes of what Amazon wants. So how does Amazon's ranking algorithm work? Okay, so Jason talked about A9. I've been studying A9 in preparation for this like a madman for the last several weeks. A9 is really, really interesting. Jason's absolutely right. This is the search algorithm that Amazon has designed. It's fairly black box, meaning they don't want people like Ben Cummings and Jason Fladlin to completely game the system. So they don't spell out exactly what you're allowed to do. However, I've researched more than anybody else that I know right now. And I'm going to tell you what we've been able to uncover. And I'm going to show you, as I said, the case studies for this. So you'll notice, now this is right off of A9. It says, as soon as we see the first keystroke, we're ready with instant suggestions. Again, metaphorically, when we're cheek to cheek, me and Beth, as soon as she started, I started. That's the metaphor for what you need to picture that Amazon's doing. And I'll show you how we take advantage of this. It all boils down to this. Let's keep away from all the technical jargon. The number one goal, guys, of Amazon, and this is a writer downer, put 15 stars by this thought. The number one goal of Amazon is to maximize sales per visitor. Sales per visitor is their number one obsessive metric, sales per visitor. i.e., 100 visitors, a visitor is somebody who goes to Amazon.com, 100 visitors go there. Those 100 visitors spend an aggregate $750. What would the sales per visitor be in that case? $7.50 per visitor on average. You guys with me? Now think about this. Okay, you have the number one e-commerce site in the history of mankind. Wouldn't you want every single one of us, including their own listings, to be able to bump that up from $7.50 to $7.52? Do you know how much that would, just that teeny little incremental increase would be? Hundreds of millions of dollars from the same number of traffic. So I'm going somewhere with this. You guys are going to like this. Okay, this is a giant aha for me. Another writer downer. A9 uses two things to maximize what? Sales per visitor. I'll help you with the hard ones. Two things. They use actual conversion rate, and here's what they write down, predicted conversion rate. Isn't that weird? Now, what do they mean by predicted conversion rate? Okay, check this out. Now, again, you're Jeff Bezos. You want to maximize sales per visitor on Amazon. Somebody types in something like Harry Potter tighty whities or something, right? All things being equal, they know that the listing with the lower price has a higher chance of converting. So by predicted, price is one way that they try to predict in advance, right? A ranking result. That makes sense because they know, they've proven. Look at guys, Amazon, let's not delude ourselves. Amazon was founded as what? A low-price e-commerce search engine for books. If you've read the Everything store that Jason mentioned, you'll know that they bash bloody the traditional publishing world to get lower prices. Literally bullied them into it. Now, is that just because they're mean and they want us all to go bankrupt? No, they have proven time and time again that the average Joe consumer, mom, pop, kettle, middle America, to them price is massively important. Now, it doesn't mean we all have to go, sell break even. I'm just saying price, as you'll notice, has great sway in conversion rate, and conversion rate has great sway in what? Ranking. Okay, so actual conversion rate, write down, and predicted conversion rate. We have to understand both and what triggers both. Let me go over now the 11 tactics. This countdown clock always freaks me out. Like, what happens if we actually reach 0? Does a little bomb go off? Okay. Quick business quiz. Now, take a look at these listings here. And I apologize, I know people in back can't see this perfectly, but tell me what all these listings have in common. You can just say it out loud. Well, yes, they're tea kettles, but I mean, other than that, the secret to ranking is sell tea kettles. No. Okay, all of you that said stuff, that's not what I want you to see. I'll give you another example. Now, I picked plain, vanilla, boring products. Nothing fancy here. This is just coffee mugs. What do you guys see here? What do all these listings have in common? Okay, you all get an F. Our first ranking secret has been hiding in plain sight. I have so much data. This is 100%, almost 100% of the time, consistently. We've proven this with some of our own listings. Not all of them, some of them. Worked every single time. Ready? The hidden architecture. Every single, virtually, okay, so the top 20 spots, what I call the Amazon sweet spot, so 17 listings on page 1, 3 listings on page 2. The titles are preceded with what? A brand name. I know, see, we all want to violate this because we know better. But Amazon has proven this. Now, look at, even something as boring as coffee mugs. Brand name, brand name, brand name, brand name, brand name, hiding in plain sight. Brand name, 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 brand name. In fact, again, I love to use boring, weird examples. For coffee mug, it's not until you're at the 19th listing that the brand name doesn't start with the title. And even that one has it wedged in there. Brands and titles do matter, guys. Why? Because what we want is to have the brand name title. When we do that, it enables our brand name in what? In search. It links up our brand name to the most relevant keywords. Violate this at your own risk. The evidence is literally everywhere. If this didn't make Amazon money, they wouldn't give a crap. It makes them money. Okay, let me just give you a quick formula in light of the new kind of Amazon Smackdown with these long keyword stuff titles, which, by the way, I was always very skeptical of those anyway. Why? Because you don't need to repeat keywords that are in your search fields in the title as well. I'll show you. I have the evidence of that right from Amazon. So that was stupid. But it would make sense to write them kind of like a good short classified ad, and that's what I'm advising you to do. So unless you have a damn good reason, always, 3 alwayses, put the brand name in your title, precede it. Not the keyword like you've all been taught. I'm showing you the evidence, look at it yourself. But Ben, for my product, there is, okay, there are freak exceptions in everything in life, but generally, brand name first, and here's the formula, ready? Brand name plus your main keyword plus your USP or your unique selling proposition. Put another way, like what would make for a really cool classified ad type of thing. So I just made this up. So Nike is the brand name, clay court tennis shoes, because I'm a tennis player, would be the main keyword, and the USP would be #1 rated by top tennis pros around the world. Coincidentally, before I knew this, I decided almost as a perverse experiment when we released this one particular product to do literally the shortest title that I could get away with just to see. I just had a gut instinct. That product ranked faster than any of my previous products. Interesting. Now, James Jones, who I had on a recent Amazon Fast Track session, his theory is that actually the more characters that you put into your title, the more it waters down the primary keyword that you want to rank for. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? He said if in theory your entire title just said Garcinia Cambogia, his theory is that would be ultra relevant in the search engines, And that would work even better than if you did, Garcinia Cambogia, lose weight, weight loss, and all this kind of stuff. Any questions, by the way? Is this clear?
Does that mean it's advantageous to have a shorter company or brand name?
Is it advantageous to have a shorter brand name? Yeah, probably, because if they're limiting character count, but yeah. Let me just keep moving on because I didn't mean to open up that can of worms because we probably don't have time based on my time left to take too many questions. But I'm going to guess I'm probably going to answer most of your questions in this presentation. Tactic number 2 is price. This is the elephant in the room no one wants to talk about. It doesn't scare me at all. Amazon favors lower prices for the reason that I mentioned earlier, right? Is this just my theory? No. What's the ultimate evidence we have that they favor lower price? Tell me. They reward the buy box to what? Lower price. Can they make it more obvious? All things being equal, Amazon knows that lower price results in better conversion, which, again, let's climb in their mind and psychically figure out what Amazon wants, and it is to maximize sales per what? Visitor. That's huge that you guys get that. Okay. So one of the biggest factors Amazon uses to determine predicted conversion rates, as I said, is price. Now let's check this out. Case study from my business. So we drop price. This is just a price graph off of Camel. It looks a little weird because we're out of stock, and for some reason it's showing this really high price, but just ignore that. We dropped the price on November 20th. Okay, check this out. This is going to freak you guys out. On November 20th, we dropped the price from $29, which is way overpriced, frankly, to $19, okay? Now, in this particular product category, that's still a premium price product, even at 19, just so you guys know. So I'm not saying lower your prices to the point of being ridiculous. You're going to find this incredible. Look what happened. Just so you know, this is a program called Search Rank that lets me track for keywords what a rank is. Now, lower is better. So at the top left, it says 45. That's a rank of 45 for a keyword. And lower is better, like 0. Well, 1 would be the best rank, right? Page 1 for that keyword. Look what happened. From number 40 to number 4 in a week for lower price. Number 3. This is massive. Time and time again. Now, I had first heard this. I read this on the ASM forums, I think from Mike McCleary way back over a year ago, year and a half ago, and he said, I run Google AdWords, and it works really well, and it helps your ranking. And I was like, well, okay, does it help the ranking because he's moving product? Does it help the ranking because he's just running ads? What's the deal? And so we've tested this extensively now. This, of all the factors, the reason I love outside paid traffic as an influence on ranking is because this is the one thing that we're most in control of, ultimately, right? Because literally, if you have a credit card, it can fog a mirror with your breath. You can send outside traffic to a listing. Now, check this out. Why do we know? Okay, so again, let's think like Amazon. Let's get in our heads. I own Amazon. How do I incentivize legions? There's over 2 million vendors right now selling on Amazon, like us. 2 million, that's crazy. That's why I don't get worried about ASM, because ASM is like a drop in a bucket compared to 2 million people out there. How do we get 2 million of them to spend their money to send traffic to my website? Now, wouldn't you clearly want to build in something in the ranking algorithm to incentivize that? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, here, I'll help you with the hard ones. Yes. Absolutely. Now, when we send outside paid traffic, keyword is quality traffic. So some of you that are really sophisticated with this and say, I'm going to start sending dirt cheap PPV traffic. I tried that, it doesn't work. So there's something in this algorithm that only is limited to super high quality traffic. Now, just logically, without overthinking this, what's some super high quality traffic that Amazon knows exists? Just say it out loud. Facebook? Absolutely. You guys know that I've proven this. This sounds so kind of egotistical when I say this. I swear I don't mean it that way. I have a 100% track record using Facebook. I've never not ranked a product in page 1 using Facebook traffic. It works. Period. End of story. But Ben, I tried it, I failed. Well, that's because 99% of people do it wrong. But it works. What else? YouTube TrueView traffic. TrueView is the advertising platform. And what else? Yeah, I mean, I made it kind of easy. I put them right on the slide here for you, but that's besides the fact. Yeah. And by the way, who owns YouTube? Google. Interesting. Now, Ben, that's a nice theory. No, I have evidence. Okay, here's the metaphor. Picture when you start spurting traffic to your listing. It's like Morse code, secret Morse code signals. And Amazon does hear those Morse codes. They're like, wow, I have proof. Because your listing becomes a shapeshifter. Literally, it morphs when you start sending outside traffic. You want proof of this? Check this out. I just typed in Garcinia, Cambodia. And if this is you, I apologize. I'll give you the 67 cents for clicking your ad. But look, it morphs, literally morphs your listing. It appends at the top. It says customers reviewed blank, also viewed yada yada. This is also, again, not to beat this dead horse to death, more evidence that Amazon's number one goal is to maximize sales per visitor. Isn't that interesting? So turn on Google AdWords, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, and we see rank goes up. Doesn't matter even if you sell a product actually from those ads. Isn't that wild? Isn't that a mind bender? Wait a minute, Ben, you're saying just the act of sending Morse code signals can affect a ranking change. Yes. By the way, I know I'm gonna guess one of the questions that you guys have because I had the same issue. Ben, won't that ruin my conversion rate? Actually, no. All of us, we're freaks. Like, we attend seminars, we study this stuff. But, to the average person, they don't click on an ad unless they're what? Interested. We're the weirdos. We click on ads because we're interested in the ads. So when you're, right? So when you're running qualified traffic, these are qualified leads that are most likely to buy, and it actually does not have a net negative effect on your listing. In fact, just the opposite. That's why I say don't do crap traffic like PPV, where you're doing pop-ups and they're not qualified tricks that will destroy your conversion rate. Okay? This is different. Just get very clear in your mind, this is different. I set you up for this. Remember I said this is this crazy ranking thing for one of our products? Guess what we did? Paid traffic. Ding, 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 ding. Page one. Went from a BSR of 16,000 to a BSR of 1,620 and multiple page one rankings. Pretty interesting, right? Another one, this is just a very, very recent case study. Now, this doesn't look like that dramatic, but keep in mind, these are rankings that were very, very close to the top of page one. So those of you with a little bit more experience, you know that once you're on ranked number 6 on page one, it actually is tougher it's easier to go from page 19 to page 2 than it is to go from number 6 to number 3, right? Would you guys agree in general? So when we turned on YouTube TrueView ads, it's all we did, we got a big, very important boost in our rank. The great thing about paid traffic is this. You get full price sales. Yeah? Well, okay. We always give some discount. It's not a huge discount when we run our YouTube TrueView campaigns. Like at the end of the video, it'll say, hey, for a limited time, we have X% off on this. Okay. So, slightly discounted or full price sales. Okay, that's the number one benefit. Number two, these sales help you rank in and of themselves. You can scale this. Once you have something that you know is popping, those 3 traffic sources, virtually unlimited traffic sources. It completely changes the way the game is played from hoping and praying that Amazon, quote unquote, rewards you with ranking love to now we're much more in control of this. We can turn it on, we can turn it off. Interesting, right? So I would say of anything that got our business, and I don't mind sharing these numbers because I think they're very inspiring, but in December we did 125,000. We should have done well over 200,000. The biggest frustration in my life is we had one of our best-selling products was stuck on a freaking boat because of some union labor dispute, and they wouldn't even check it into port. So that number should be way bigger. But we have a projected figure. I know we're going to hit this. I mean, we've worked the numbers. We know exactly what to do to hit 400,000 a month by the end of this year. A big component of that, again, is to send those Morse code signals in a strategic, cheap way. It's not all about, look, you can use money like a scalpel, or you can push it around with a bulldozer. We like to use it like a scalpel. What's the bare minimum we can do to affect our ranking change? By the way, one of the questions we had when somebody asked me, okay, well, what did you guys do in December? What we did, I think it was over 125,000. Well, that wasn't full price sales. Yeah, it was. It's full price sales. This wasn't from like giveaways. Full price sales at about a 40 to 50% margin. Now, if we can maintain that at 400,000 a month and then double that the following year and double that again, those are nice numbers. So what I'm sharing is scalable stuff, not one-off things, scalable things. And by the way, I'm not like a member of Mensa. I mean, other than that really weird mind trick, I'm just like you guys. I will admit, that was a weird trick. But other than that, if I can do this, you guys can do it. Believe me, just ask my wife. I would say if there's one thing to master strategically this year, it is the strategic use of proactive paid traffic. I'll move on. Daily sales velocity. I'm going to cover this very quickly. Okay, all things being equal, again, let's go back to climbing into the mind of Amazon. All things being equal, I'm selling 50 units a day, and you're selling 20 units a day. Logically, who should Amazon rank higher? Me. So, daily sales. Now, this is something that I do blatantly manipulate and trick Amazon into thinking that we're doing more daily sales, and so they start ranking us very, very quickly. Now, why? What's the expression of current recent daily sales? What's the current expression of that? BSR, bestseller rank, right? Okay, so bestseller rank, and by the way, I did a whole study of this, those of you in my Amazon Fast Track, where most people don't understand what bestseller rank is. Bestseller rank, I used to think was kind of like the historical history of how a product is selling. No. I actually proved this in a case study. BSR is simply the most current sales that just occurred. Now, you see this most prevalently, and I should have had a slide, but where I bought really bizarre products. You guys remember this last month? So I shelled out about $100 just to see what would happen. And I picked products that had like a BSR of 200,000. BSR is tracked by the most recent sales. And I knew this was going to happen, that once I bought it, it went from like 200,000 BSR, it was like weird like Sharpie pen, some obscure color, to like 60,000 BSR, just from one freaking sale. And then I said, now watch what's going to happen. The next day, it's going to go right back to where it was. I think it took 2 days. So BSR is simply, let's not overcomplicate, it's triggered by the most recent sales. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what we do initially is we trick this using giveaways or heavy discounts, generate lots of daily sales. And those of you that are familiar with my Facebook funnels know that we also get lots of reviews from that, and we build a review club. That's all side benefit. The immediate benefit is what? Lots of daily sales, elevate our BSR, have that happen for a series of days. Jason and Wilson, I don't know how these guys come up with this stuff. They're just geniuses the way they've come up with this. It was Jason and Wilson who taught me, number one, buy rank, right? And number two, do it for at least 4 days. And they're absolutely right. Because if you buy rank, i.e. you give away products, over a span of time, it artificially boosts your BSR, which does what? Boosts your rank. Anyway, so daily sales velocity in relation to the other page one competitors is a very important ranking factor. It's in relation to the other page one competitors. Using my crystal ball method, you can find out very accurately how many units they're moving per day so that we can, again, temporarily trick Amazon into giving us that ranking boost. Combine it with these other factors, and you can see your ranking is going to go up. Number 5, conversion rate. Now, I would say of the two most important factors, ultimately what it comes down to is conversion rate and daily sales velocity. Okay? Check this out. If you were Amazon and your goal was to maximize sales per what? You guys have nightmares about that. Sales per visitor. Okay, so we have two listings. One listing gets a 12.98% conversion rate. The other listing gets a 6.64% conversion rate. Just logically, follow me on this. For every 100 visitors, if it's a $30 product, roughly, that means 13 people out of 100 are going to buy my listing. That's $390. Easy math. What's $390 divided by 100? $3.90 sales per visitor. My competitor has a 6.64%. Let's round it up to 7%. That means only 7 are going to buy, about half. His sales per visitor is $2.10. By the way, like are some light bulbs going off? This should, because you're like, whoa, conversion rate really makes a huge difference. Now, which would you prefer if you were Amazon? Which one? The one we're making double sales per visitor. So, just so you know how dramatic these small changes are, that's an 85.7% increase in sales per visitor when it's 12.9% at conversion versus 6.64. Does that make sense to everybody? Like I know math is, they always say in public speaking, don't cover math. You know, the eyes glaze over, minds go blank, but this is a really important slide. Why the hell wouldn't they rank me with a 13% conversion rate over people that only had a 10%, 9%, 8%? So over time, this is why sometimes you forget about a listing, those of you that have multiple SKUs. You wake up 3 months later, it's like, holy crap, I'm on page 1 for that? What happened? Because over time, naturally, the ranking rises. Why? Conversion rate. Interesting, right? So, Ben, how do we get high conversions? Let me briefly go through this. In the coming months of my fast track, we're doing what I call the art of high conversion listings. This is like the cram down your throat in 2-minute version. Optimize your listings with good copywriting. Now, raise your hand if you're kind of copywriting challenged or you hate writing. Okay, and the rest of you lie about other things too, don't you? Okay, let me just tell you my system, very, very simple. Number one, other than using these for weird mind tricks, I have a big version of an artist sketch pad. It's pretty big. In fact, these guys saw it at a meeting. I diagram everything. The brand I like to use is this Strathmore, and I actually get a much bigger artist sketch pad. I really highly recommend it. And I literally will start writing down phrases, keywords, and all this stuff related to copywriting, what needs to be in my listing. Now, when the rubber meets the road, I highly recommend these 3 books. You should all buy them now. Words That Sell. And I was telling John back there, I literally sometimes forget I have these. And I'm like, damn, why didn't I just remember to actually use these? These are so valuable. More Words That Sell. And Phrases That Sell. And this guy's going to owe me a bottle of something good for pumping these books, right? But just as an example, let's say that you're like, oh my God, what do I write about paper clips? Well, again, just random example. It's just for the concept of this is a complete system or a thorough supplement. You can use the word in-depth, extensive, unlimited, limitless, all-inclusive, everything you need. It just gives you all these nice variations in a more tight copywriting way. Because guys, copywriting is really probably the other master skill that you should really get good at. And the good news is you don't have to do long-form copywriting. Think in terms of CNN-style short sound bites, right? Got to learn how to edit yourself. Dr. Paul Hertunian, who used to speak at some of my chiropractic seminars, he would get up there and say, when you're writing a press release, edit your freaking selves. Here, let me show you how to edit. The Civil War. North fought the South over slavery. The North won. Done. That's editing. I have found time and time again, now remember, I'm a freak, just like you guys. I study what's happening. Shorter is better. Shorter is better. I have found, as a general rule, there's always exceptions, but short, tight, very, heavily benefit-laden bullets outperform verbose, overly hyped, with weird star characters time and time and time and time again. We're not selling to usins. We are weird. We're selling to ma and pa kettle middle America. Like, I'm sure you guys have had the experience where, you're sitting through a multi-level marketing pitch and your friend ropes you into it. I have a business opportunity. Well, what is it? I can't tell you. It's top secret. You're in trouble, right? And the speaker goes on and on, and you're thinking, something's wrong here. Why is he selling so hard? Why is he selling so hard? It's the same thing with listings. Not only do we have a lifetime guarantee, if you're Buddhist, this will carry over into your next lifetime. Believe it or not, there's a point of diminishing return with the ultra-hypey warrior form style copywriting applied to Amazon, because Ma and Pa Kettle are like, damn, George, this is a scam. Next. This is how it works. Okay. The other thing I always have handy, is an old school dictionary. This is the actual one I use, the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the paperback version. Everyone wants to know exactly the one. That's the one I use. And the one that, if you don't use it, it's good for working out the biceps. It's a very thick, hardcover thesaurus called Bartlett's Roget's. Anyway, I have my art sketch pad. I have multiple colored Sharpies. And I start, again, using the title formula. Brand name, main keyword, and let me see, what would make some good USPs? I start writing those out. And I do different colors for certain benefits and bullet points. There's this visual layout. I just can't describe it until you try it. It is literally like getting an aerial view. You don't get awash with all these details and confusions. You start circling. I'm going to keep that one. That's good. I'll keep this one. That's my favorite title. It just works. Just try it. Second thing is the image stack. Now, we got slapped. Every single of our ASINs, they made us modify our images because we had text in our images, not the main image. They don't like that. The best strategy that you can do with image stacks, this works phenomenally well, is don't think in terms of what is my competition doing. Think in terms of doing a commercial TV storyboard. Are you guys with me? So I love this picture. Literally, this just so happens, I just grabbed this off of Google Images. If I had I don't even know what this does. I think it's it polishes up the car. This is literally probably what my images would be. I love the second image. See, it's divided into 4, and there's no text. But it's put it on a thing. Or spray it. Rub it. It sparkles. That's perfect. Tell your marketing story as a product and use series of images akin to what you would do when building a TV commercial storyboard. Does this make sense, everybody? All right, nice. Coupon stack. Coupon stack is, again, this is your listing, I apologize, but coupon stacks are a phenomenal way to boost. Remember, when I maximize sales per visitor, this does it. Customer images in reviews. Now, we're not allowed to have videos in our listing, but a customer can leave a video review in a listing, right? And we can have all of our friends and family, hint, 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 vote that up. Huge boost in conversion rates. If you have a product that doesn't, frankly, lend itself to video, and we have some of those products, customer use photos combined with a 5-star awesome written review works wonders. Again, because it brings the product to life. Video reviews are my favorite if you can pull them off, if you can get them. The blue ocean strategy. Let me do a parenthetical, kind of outside Amazon. There was a paper that was passed around Harvard Business School called the Blue Ocean Strategy. There's a book you should probably read by the same name, The Blue Ocean Strategy. It's a metaphor. There's 2 oceans, the red ocean, the blue ocean. Okay. The fatal flaw right now in all of our businesses is that we're swimming in the red ocean, lots of blood, because literally my 13-year-old son, if he could have a credit card, he could be ordering the same products that I am. Let's just be blunt, right? There's a very low barrier to entry in this business. Why do you think supplements is an ASM magnet? Got a credit card, here's my brand name, instant product. That's red ocean. We're all bashing each other's heads in for the limited amount of real estate within Amazon. I don't like that, do you? I hate that. Okay? Another parenthetical. For about 20 years now, I've run a practice management / marketing thing where we coach chiropractors how to double and triple their... There's a long-time client right there. Thanks, buddy. How to double and triple their practices. Now, frankly, what I teach is pretty much general marketing advice. Now, what could I charge for general marketing advice? $12.95 for a freaking Kindle ebook? Same advice, but step into the blue ocean, I can charge 3 times as much. Niche specific. That's an example of red ocean versus blue ocean. Let me give you now a product specific example. You guys need to be thinking about this. Once your product kind of breaches, let's call it phase 1 into phase 2, you're getting some sales, some traction, you need to start thinking, I need to have a real business here with a point of differentiation. Great example, this is right out of the book. Yellowtail wine. How many of you have heard of Yellowtail wine? I know who my alcoholics are, aha. You got that on the camera. Just kidding. Yellowtail wine now is a very, very popular brand. They were dying on the vine, pun intended. They were dying on the vine. And so they did a survey. Interesting. They found that 85% of Americans didn't own a corkscrew. One product feature, they changed the screw top. 2 years, 30% market share of the world's largest consumers, probably next to France, but in terms of revenue, 30% market share. From nothing to 30% market share, one product feature. Interesting, right? Blue ocean strategy. This is my all-time favorite kind of hero. This is the Amazon whisper. If there's anybody that understands blue ocean, it's this guy. What he does is he reads product reviews. He private labels just like us, by the way. He reads product reviews. He sees what feature everyone is bitching and complaining about. I like the damn wireless speaker. I wish the volume was higher, or whatever. Now, he sees this reoccurring in several product listings. That's what he does. Metaphorically here, he calls the China manufacturer where he knows he can private label it. He says, hey, how much should just bake in this additional feature? This guy, he doesn't disclose it. And here, I'll read this to you. This is fascinating. Quote, he has an entire team of people who read reviews on Amazon looking for moments when people say, I wish this speaker were blank, rechargeable. Pekarsky then makes a rechargeable version. Hype exists, in essence, because enough people think like me. It's a profitable trick. He does in the 9 figures in sales every year. So at least $100 million freaking dollars. That's the difference between ASM and Blue Ocean. Remember this one, guys. This is how to build a real business, in my opinion. Tactic number 6. I call these, for lack of a better word, social buying signals. Now, this is all anecdotal evidence I have. I have no way to test this, because, well, you'll see why. Amazon wish list. We have no way to prove this, but I have lots of evidence to support the idea that there are social signals that kind of, again, are like that secret Morse code signal that's being sent to Amazon, right, guys? So Amazon wish list, or the most wished for, appears to be a signal of popularity. I would write that down. Really, this is what we're trying to trick Amazon into thinking, a signal of popularity. Like somebody's waving a white flag for a certain product going, we're getting popular, let's rank them a bit better. So again, I like to find word examples. I just randomly clicked on most wished for, and I clicked on the bath and beauty, or the bath and body products. Number 11 is a $69 product. It's a spa pillow. Number 1 ranked for spa pillow. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Chicken or egg, I don't know. But I keep seeing this happen time and time again. So what can we do? Guys, I mean, most of you guys are in my fast track thing. You guys know how we build these lists, right? What if you sent out an email to your review club and say, hey, if you click on this link and add it to your wish list, you can get my next product for $1. Or I'll send you a secret coupon. Or blah, 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 blah. Or just help me out. We're a small business. You're not going to need that many people to do that, right? This is like tackling and blocking. This is fundamental stuff that'll boost these rankings. Another social signal are active questions. Now, this is interesting. I've seen evidence that lots of activity within answered questions, and this just makes logical sense, is a signal to Amazon that there's action happening here. There's action happening here. Check this out. Mr. Coffee, with 471 answered questions, ranks higher than other listings with a better sales rank. That makes absolutely no sense, but it does once we pull back the curtain and see what Oz really looks like. Reviews. Now, quiz question. Which product, just use common sense, and again, I apologize, those in the back, you guys can't see this, but just mom and pop kettle we're talking about, mom and pop kettle. These are the exact same private label products, yeah? Literally the exact same product. One is 37, one is 23, but which one to ma and pa kettle looks more trustworthy at the initial glance? The one with 1,800 reviews or the one with 33? This one, that's more for the same friggin' product, is ranked number 1 for it. Isn't that interesting? So we used to think that reviews in and of themselves drove rank. It does not. It does not. In fact, has no influence on how you rank at all. But what it does is it boosts your conversion rate, which sure as hell does have an influence. This is why, again, going back, remember I said, those with multiple SKUs, you kind of forget about it, and then you're like 3 months later, holy crap, we're ranking high, because 2 things have happened. You've accumulated reviews as well, and you have a higher on-page conversion rate, and guess what? The more reviews, the more the conversion rate. So I like to call this a lagging ranking factor. Reviews by themselves don't do squat, but they buoy up conversion rate. And by the way, you've got to have, in my opinion, at least 15 to 20 5-star reviews before you turn on Amazon-sponsored ads. Otherwise, it has actually a negative effect on your conversion rate because it's not trustworthy. Remember, we're not the market. Ma and Pa Kettle is the market. Parent-child listings. Okay. You guys all know what a parent-child listing is? It's just a fancy way of saying it's product variation within the same listing. Okay, now, again, let's give Amazon what they want so that we get what we want. That's like Zig Ziglar, God rest his soul, applied to Amazon. Oh, what? Boy, that's service. Thank you. Well, here, I don't need the whole thing. You can have this back. I feel bad stealing your water. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's give Amazon what they want. What do they want? Maximize sales per visitor, right? Okay, so I go, just logically, let's not overthink this. I'm looking for cell phone cases, yeah? Remember, people aren't going, okay, let me super analyze this. No, they see the search results. By the way, when is the click actually won? When's the click won? From the thumbnail. You can have the greatest, most optimized listing on planet Earth. If your main image sucks, they'll never see this great listing. So that's where the initial click battle is won. But once they click on that, right? They're like, man, I like this. I wish it was in black. It's not. They bounce. By the way, Amazon tracks everything, including where people are hovering their mouse on a page, and what's known as, and this is in geek speak, the bounce rate. Like, I don't like this. They back out. They click on something else. Guess what parent-child listings do? Minimize bounce rate, maximize sales, because now the same person goes, this is a really cool cell phone case. Oh, they have black? Okay, now I'm buying it. Does that make sense? Say yes. Question?
Doesn't this also help your reviews because that aggregates all your reviews under one?
Totally, yeah. Yes. I'm going to take you on a row with me. That was a perfect setup because, yeah, yeah, he's absolutely right. It houses all of the reviews within the same listing. Interesting, right? Which helps conversion rate, which helps rank. Pretty cool. Okay. The other thing it does, how many of you love hijackers? I couldn't bait anybody who wasn't paying attention to raising their hand. I was really hoping. What an emotionally charged word, hijacker. It's like rape and pillage in the medieval village or something. It's really not that big of a deal. Amazon doesn't believe that we own any of our listings. It's like a community page. That's how they view it. So the one thing that parent-child does is it fends off hijackers. Let's be our own hijacker. Let's add color variation, size variation to our own listing. Does that make sense? It's important, guys. Relevancy, factor number 11. Now, this is where the new battle is won on Amazon 2.0. Relevancy, and tightly related to this, are keywords. Now, don't worry, I'm going to cover this. At its most basic level, I think we've been thinking about all this ranking stuff wrong. A9 is a predictive and real-time search results machine, yes? So they have learned, brilliantly so, they've just dialed this right in, that if Beth types in dog collar for Sparky the dog, and they bring up a listing that is so darn close to dog collar for Sparky, her odds of buying go up dramatically. Versus non-relevant results, the sales per visitor would not be good. The more relevant you make your listing for what people are actually searching for, Amazon wants to feed your listing up. They want to help us. You know, it's like help me help you kind of thing. Right? Does this make sense? So I've completely changed. I'm no longer really thinking in terms of ranking. That almost kind of connotes a static thing. I'm now more thinking of making my listing as relevant as possible for people like Beth looking for Sparky dog collars. Does that make sense? Okay. So the more relevant I make my listing to what people are searching for, the higher my rank automatically is. Again, all these other factors play into play. Which leads me into the last tactic here, keywords. I see a lot of people making mistakes on keywords. I don't want to belabor the point, but keywords and the relevancy, well, this is how Amazon determines if your listing is relevant. What else can they do? Right? So the words you put in the title and bullets, but not the product description, because we've tested this. Product description is good for Google ranking, has absolutely nothing to do, though, for some reason, with being relevant for Amazon search for A9. I don't know why that is. That could change. If so, I'll let you guys know. But right now, Interesting. So case study. I asked myself, Ben, what's the most weird example I can teach to sort of see what goes on? And I thought, let me type in steel apple. I don't know. If it's right, who's typing in steel apple? But let's see what triggers something as weird as steel apple. Check this out. Something came up. Let's see what triggered that relevancy. Apple, and somewhere in the bullets, steel. Ultimate evidence. They're pulling from title. Also, by the way, I'm sure you've seen listings where the keyword isn't anywhere in the title and anywhere in the bullets. That tells us they're also pulling from class? Yeah, the search field, the keyword field. And I'm going to go over exactly how to maximize all that. Amazon tells us. Here's the rules. Keep it simple. The top 6 to 8 most obvious keywords for your product must be sprinkled into the title, the bullets, and the search field. Otherwise, your listing will not appear, period. If your Amazon ad keywords, how many of you will use, so you had an internet marketing background and you're building niche sites or whatever. I was talking to somebody last night who was doing the Mage system, and he was telling me he would knock out 100 websites a day. And they were probably keyword-based and all this kind of stuff to make them relevant for Google, right? This is very similar. So Amazon ads, how many of you come from, frankly, a very sophisticated, much more sophisticated about Google AdWords than I am? So you're used to doing these big keyword scrape lists of 200 keywords, right? And you throw them all, yeah. And what happens when you throw them into an Amazon ads campaign? You're like, why aren't they feeding me any impressions? This is why. It's A9 saying to you, you might be thinking, I'm super relevant for this keyword. But if A9 doesn't think, then you're not going to be showing up. So we're now using Amazon ads as an indicator for how A9 is thinking. It's like that mind trick. This is like, peering in the ear of A9 and going, wait a minute, they don't think I'm relevant for that keyword? We better put that keyword into our listing in a strategic way, which leads us to this thought. How do you maximize the search field, the title fields, and the bullet fields if you have lots of keywords? So let me show you exactly how to do that. Number one, and I always like to give credit where credit's due. I found this article by Karen Thaxton somewhere on the internet. I don't have the URL anymore, but the title and keyword field holds equal weight. I didn't know that. I guess I didn't know what to think. I kind of thought the title was like king, the search field was queen, and like everything else was, we're like the court jesters or something. But actually, there's two kings. And the two kings are the keyword field and the title. They hold equal weight. Therefore, again, I didn't know this. If your keyword is Garcinia Cambogia, I don't need to put Garcinia Cambogia both in my title and in the search field. It absolutely does nothing other than make you feel better. Ultimate evidence. Let's read it. This is from Amazon. The title, UPC, manufacturer, and merchant are added automatically. Don't waste characters by repeating these words in the search fields. They're saying if you have it in the title, now they're assuming here you put the brand name, a model number, etc. That's added automatically. Don't add it to the search field. It's not going to help you. That's Amazon telling us. Amazon also accounts for what's called stemming. Stemming is a weird word. Let me make it simple for you. So like the word diet, do you put the word diets, plural? Do you have to put dieting, ing, dietitian? We don't have to do that. They account for basic stemming. Isn't that interesting? Proof right here. You don't need to use simple stemming variations. Our search engine performs basic stemming. For example, if it will treat a search for gloves the same as a search for glove. Right there. I've just saved you a ton of characters that you can now put more relevant keywords. The more relevant keywords for mom and pop kettle, higher opportunity, more exposure, free traffic from Amazon, the higher conversion rate, the more views you get, higher ranking. You don't need to use commas. So I've seen so many people that I look in their search field and it says diet, comma, Garcinia, comma, wasted characters. Let me tell you what Amazon tells us. There are 5 fields for you to enter key search words. Each field can contain up to 50 characters separated by spaces, not commas. Don't need them. You do not need to repeat complete keyword phrases. So I see this happening a lot. You're going after, let's say, Bluetooth wireless speaker. So you put in wireless speaker, outdoor wireless speaker, Bluetooth wireless speaker. You don't need to do that. You don't need to repeat them. It's not how A9 works. And they're telling us how A9 works because it's right here. We only need to do it like this: wireless speaker, outdoor Bluetooth. And it says right here, don't waste characters by repeating these words in the search fields. I'm a little slow, but I know if Amazon's telling me, let me just do what they tell me. They know how to make money. We're riding their coattails. Let's give them what they want, and they'll give us what we want. James Jones has a phenomenal tool. How many of you, I don't know how this worked, but I think some of you got this as a bonus or something. Well, anyway, use it. This is killer. This will do this for you. The only thing I believe it does is it automatically adds commas, and you don't need that. But I could be wrong about that. Summary. This is my ta-da moment. You guys ready for this? I'm going to bring everything together. Stand cheek to cheek. So you guys will never forget that, will you? Stand cheek to cheek with Amazon. Let's crawl in their minds psychically, figure out what they want. Let's just give it to them. I got to beat this loophole Willie thing out of all of us as entrepreneurs. They're telling us they know how to make money. Let's make money with them. To do that, you have to have a high conversion rate. You have to have good daily sales velocity and reviews, and you have to make your listing relevant. Then you have to have a competitive price. Send some traffic to your listing in Morse code bursts, yeah? Utilize social buying signals when appropriate. When possible, make it a parent-child listing. And finally, make sure that you're focusing in on the best 6 to 8 keywords and optimizing those characters. If you do these things, you can't not rank higher on Amazon. You can't not rank higher on Amazon sooner or later. Remember, one of my first slides was what success really looks like on Amazon. It's not a straight line. So do not hit the panic button. Don't hit the panic button if in one day you don't have money enough coming in to build your mansion down in the Caribbean, all right? Final thoughts. You know, it sort of struck me that as I was prepping for this lecture that a lot of you are winning, but you feel like you're losing. Meaning, Ben just gave this whole damn talk on how to rank. Damn, I'm not ranking. I'm a freaking loser. I'm making $12,000 a month, but damn, I'm a loser. Okay, you can be winning and still feel like you're losing. There's an interesting behavioral economic study, a monkey and two apples. This is pretty interesting. I love this picture, by the way. Okay, so what they did was they gave a monkey an apple. He was absolutely excited. Then they gave a monkey two apples. Now he saw them, and they took one away. The monkey freaked out. He still ended up with one apple, but when you give the two apples, you take one away, let's hit the panic button, let's freak out. If you're making money on Amazon and you're not ranking, who gives a crap? You know? I would gladly take a page 3 ranking and be making $100,000 a month from a product. I don't need the ranking for ego reasons. You're in business and you're in business to make money, yes? Okay. So I do have some time left. Hold on. Hold that applause. Hold that standing ovation, please. Guys, do you want me to take question? Well, it's not up to you guys. Do you guys want me to take questions? Yes. Okay, well, I'm in charge now, I guess. I'm going to ask that you just come up on the stage. That's going to freak out half of you. If you have a question, make sure I can answer it. We'll take about 10 minutes of questions, and then we'll do a break here. All right? Please just form a line here. And if I don't get to your question, don't be offended. I have people write me a very upset email sometimes when I don't get to the question at a Q&A, and I say, don't take it personally. There's just a whole lot more of you than me. Coming up, Bill. Let's give Bill a round of applause. Come on, I can do better than that. Hey, Bill.
One of the things you talked about was being strategic with the scalpel, with the ads, advertising.
Yeah.
How do you determine your go, no go? What price point or what formula do you use to say, I've dumped enough money on that ad, it's not working?
Okay, well, what's your goal, though? What's your goal with the ad? Are you just blatantly trying to affect a rank change? Or are you already ranking and you want to be profitable?
Profitable. So
But are you ranking yet? The reason I'm asking is because, okay, Amazon.
Two different things.
Bill, thank you, by the way. The reason I was asking Bill this is because down in Cabo, I was teaching about Amazon ads. And I set up everybody in the room. I said, why should we run Amazon ads? Everyone's like, to make a profit. No, it depends. There's 3 scenarios. Those 3 scenarios are, maybe I just want to use Amazon ads to rank. So if my goal is just to rank, then I don't care if I lose money, break even, or make a profit. I don't, because I want the sales and reviews. Right? The second criteria, though, is, okay, I'm already ranking. I kind of want to lock in those rankings. Different strategy. Then, ideally, I just want profit keywords and pause all the others. Third scenario, I was ranking, I slid backwards. Again, different tactic. Then I'm fine with break even or profit. Right? Does this make sense? So you can't come up with go, no-go decisions in a vacuum. You have to actually figure out what's my goal. So if your goal, if you have a brand new product, and guys, if you're not on, if you're on page 3, you might as well be on page 300 in most cases. It's just like Google search. They've done heat map studies, and they found that the number 1, number 2, number 3 listings combined get something like 70+% of the clicks. Amazon isn't that draconian because people do love to shop. People love to buy. So they'll kind of look around a page. But you have to know what your goal is to come up with that no-go decision. So if I had a brand new product, it wasn't even anywhere close to the Amazon sweet spot of the top 20, then me personally, I'm a firm believer in buying rank. I mean, we're really good at this stuff. Let me ask you a question. Theoretically, if Amazon, and again, I love to give credit where credit's due. This is Jason's brilliant concept. If Amazon called you right now and they said, $30,000 check, or in large unmarked bills, guaranteed 1, 2, or 3 ranking, guaranteed, how fast would you be getting a second mortgage? Everyone would do it. So theoretically now, why wouldn't you give away $30,000 worth of product to buy that ranking? What the hell is the difference? Feels different emotionally, doesn't it? But it's kind of a mind thing, right? Now, we don't give away $30,000, but I start thinking, okay, if, in the worst case scenario, if I gave away $30,000 worth of product, how fast could I make that money back if I was on page 1, like above the fold or near, 2 months? It's no different than investing in the stock market. No one bitches and moans about putting $30,000 into a mutual fund. What's the difference? No, it's an investment. $30,000 into a dog is stupid, right? So if you can make back your $30,000 within a short period of time, that's a smart bet. That's not stupid. That's not stupid at all. Again, don't take me literally. Ben, do I have to give away $30,000? No. That's just a crazy example, okay? Round of applause for Deb. How are you, Deb?
Aloha,
You're very
Ben.
tropical. I like the look.
Yes, I'm from Hilo, Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yes, it's warm there too.
Cool.
But thank you for I want to say thank you for your 3 discussions that you had during the course. Those made the most sense to me. I will say that not everything worked exactly as you said, but it was the most sense, and I really appreciate those as I went through the curriculum. I have one quick question that came out from the talk you just gave, but I have one that stopped me for weeks. Which one would you like?
You only have time for one, so pick which one you want.
I'm going to do the one that stopped me for weeks. It's a parent-child relationship. When I went in and I wanted to do a product, it came under a category that needed approval. And I remember your talk, hey, a hurdle is a good thing because it's going to stop a whole lot of people. You need approval. Yeah. And I thought I could submit one product, and they said, I went in, I did all my homework, I put it in there, I came back and they gave me this long laundry list. I filled out only the mandatory stuff. They gave me, you have to answer these 30 items and you have to have 5 products.
Was this for like jewelry or something absurd?
No, it was luggage and travel accessories.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and I think they're going to all categories are going to be approvals shortly. I think that's where they're heading. But the parent one I have the major category, the major keyword, and then I had one product that I had teed up that I'm ready to go. It's coming now, being shipped. And then I said, the other ones I could do variations, but I was in the military, can't lie, can't whatever. I don't have 4, but they kept sending me the 12-hour notices. If you don't submit the information, we're canceling this request, and I didn't want to get penalized. What can you say about that? How do you do that?
The question, but I'm not.
When you have to have variations.
I'm not the guy in our business who even does the flat file part.
Okay.
So sorry, Cal.
Do you want to do the?
But if somebody can help her, no, I'm gonna. But if somebody can help her out, find the Hawaiian, and hopefully you can help her because I don't have an answer for that. Okay. Sorry, Deb. Do you want me to wrap up or a few more questions?
10:28. You got 2 minutes.
All right. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you again.
All right. Hi.
All right.
My question was about your price point. You said you lowered it. One of your things was to lower it. So when you lowered that, were you still making as much money when you lowered it from 29 to 19? Like, did the increase of units sold equal enough benefit to lower it by that much?
Yeah.
So you're
super competitive. See, even at that quote unquote lower price, believe it or not, we're still premium priced. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that your units sold.
But I mean, look,
so much.
we're all doing this for a net profit. So I would never. I'm not suggesting we go nuts and lower our price and just go nuts with this and make no money. That's not what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was significant enough to.
Our target is a minimum of 40% profit margin. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. One more question. Hey, Brian. How you doing?
Great. Now I get to ask a question. 2 questions on advertising when you drive the traffic through the AdWords. Do you send it through a link that generates the search result or not? And do you just run like hundreds of dollars a day or as little as you can?
It's the same answer I gave. It depends on what the goal is. I don't play any games. You're talking specifically with Google AdWords, or you mean am I using the ASM ranker link? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so for Google AdWords, we don't play any games with a redirect or anything like that, and we found it makes no difference. Okay, but for like the TrueView YouTube campaign, yeah, ASM ranker all the time, Facebook all the time, and it definitely helps. Definitely helps. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the. Well, thank you. Okay. Thanks, guys.
It's nice not having to present for 8 hours a day anymore, right? I don't know if you've seen the ASM1 pre-day event. Let me just walk you through it real quick. Boom, laptop, Google Hangout. Jason got to stand between here and here, right? We've come a long ways. So, pretty good stuff, right? So we're going to take a 15-minute break. I believe that means 10:45. Be here a few minutes before that. Our next speaker was a last-minute addition. I'll tell you the story when we get back. So I'll see you here very shortly.